Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homeward Studio. The theme of today's video is eggs, Easter eggs. Anyway, I have 3 ideas to share with you, and one of them is double-sided, so bonus! Also, today's video is part of a collaboration called Talented Creators, which I will tell you about shortly, but first, let's just go make something. Okay, number 1. I thrifted this, I don't know what you call it, a plank. It's kind of like an easel. It also has a hook on it. It's got all kinds of stuff on it, but it was $1.99. And I have these gorgeous little napkins. I get most of mine from Home Goods or Marshall's. I have these eggs from the Dollar Tree. I have this Happy Easter word, comes in a pack from Hobby Lobby, $1.99, 40% off of that. I have some scrapbook paper and some ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm looking at my napkins. They were, I think they were $4.99 or $5.99. Anyway, I was looking to see how many plies there are, and there are 3 plies. So I painted that egg with Mod Podge, and while that's drying, I'm removing the plies. Well, I guess there's 6 bunnies on this napkin. So I decided not to cut it all apart, not to remove the plies on this, just cut one little piece out and remove both plies. And then I just place it on this egg here. And I'm holding it because I had it on there very carefully because I wanted to get as much of the bunny on there as I could without cutting it apart. And then I just put my parchment paper down and took my heat press. And now I'm going to take my finger sander and sand off the extra paper, and it turned out beautifully. And now I have my Distress Oxide in the color Walnut. And I'm just distressing that. And I have that little teeny round brush. I believe I got a 3-pack of those from Michael's, small, medium, and large. I love them. I use them all the time. And I'm just distressing the bunny. Because if you know me, I kind of distress everything. And yeah, that turned out super cute. Now I just cut out my scrapbook paper to fit this, I don't know, we'll just call it a plank. That's what we'll call it. I don't know, easel, plank, crate, I don't know. I put my glue stick all over it, and then I put my paper on there, pressed it down really good, and then took my brayer and pushed it down even better. And now I'm just going to remove the sides. And then now I have my little X-Acto blade, and I'm just very carefully scoring it on the back. And this took quite a while. And then I scored it on the back to the point where you could see it on the front. And then I just put my blade on the top of the wood there, and then just ran it across there very slowly, very, very carefully, so I didn't tear the paper. So it took quite a while to do this. And then I took my nail file and I just sanded the entire thing. And inside those grooves too as well. And now I'm distressing again. You guys, I distress everything, like I said. I just love it. I don't know. I just get something out of it. What? I don't know. But I like the look too. But it's just fun to distress. But if you guys don't like to distress, that's fine. This is just my personal preference. So I put the little jute back on there with a little clothespin. Had all kinds of stuff going on here. It had a hanger and another hanger, and then the little like picture frame backing, and then the little clothespin. I mean, there was a lot going on here, but it's all good. So I just put that jute back on there. And I glued it because I want that bunny to hang down. So I glued the jute, and I glued the little clothespin, and then I clipped the bunny on there. And now I have the Happy Easter, and I just have some wax, and I'm just staining this with a baby wipe. And now I have this Gorilla Glue. I love it. It's like a nail polish brush, and you just brush it on and no glue strings. So yeah, I'm all about that right now. It's expensive, and you don't get a lot in that bottle though. And then now I'm going to put some greenery up here. I have a bunch of greenery. I tell you guys all the time, I have a huge container of it. So I just keep on picking things out of there. And I put 4 little pieces here, and then I took like a little teeny flower and then glued it on in the middle. And that is it. And you guys, I love this piece. I think this is so pretty. It didn't turn out the way that I thought it was going to. It turned out better. Don't you love it when that happens, when you make something and it's better than when you thought it would be? Okay, so today's collaboration is called Talented Creators, and the theme is Easter and or spring. And I'd like to thank my sweet friends, the talented Aurea with DIY with Aurea, and the talented Loli with Loli D's Creations. And if you're not familiar with their channels, I put their links in my description box below so you can go check them out. And also the link for the playlist is in my description box with all of today's participants for tons of ideas. Number 2, this is a door swag. And here's what you need to make it. Now I have these 2 trees from the Dollar Tree. They look blue here, but they're actually like a mint green. They're really pretty. And I have this egg garland from the Dollar Tree as well. I have this mesh that matches the eggs, the pink, purple, yellow, and blue, yeah. And then I have all of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I have some zip ties. I didn't use those bunnies. I used that bunny up there. I wish I would have had more, but it turned out well, really well anyway. So now I took the tree and I kind of just unfluffed it. The back side is flat. I took all these, and instead of pulling them down, I pulled them up toward the top of the tree. So you'll see here in a second what I mean. See, the back is flat? Okay, I did that to both of them. And then now I'm going to put them together. So the top is on top and the top of the other tree is on the bottom. I use 4 zip ties to tie them together. So where the ends meet, I put 2 on the one side and then 2 on the other side. So there's just no wiggling of these trees at all. And then I took the top piece of the tree, that really long piece, and I just folded it. I made a loop and I twisted it twice, so that's going to be the hanger. And yeah, I have that if you guys don't have one of those are amazing. Those little vacuum cleaners, they're pretty powerful. Anyway, I don't know why I left that in there. But now I have this egg garland, and what I'm doing is I am just twisting it, the branches around it. So I'm just going in a zigzag from the top all the way down to the bottom, and I twisted the tree branches around the beads so you can't see it, and then they stay in there perfectly and you don't have to glue it on. Super easy. Now the deco mesh. I don't know if this is deco mesh or just mesh, but it's from the Dollar Tree. So I cut 2 pieces of each color, and they're 12 inches long, and I just squinched them up from one end to the other. Just squinched them up, and then I put that little clip there to hold them together. And I have some pipe cleaners or chenille sticks, and I'm just going to put one right there in the middle, and they're cut in half as you saw. I'm going to twist it really tight. You can use zip ties too if you want, and you can use pretty much any color. I probably wouldn't use a really dark color or a sparkly color, but you really can't see them at all. So I did purple with yellow and pink with blue, and I made 2 of each of the colors, so there's 4 total. And now I did the same thing. I just kind of put them in the tree, and then I twisted the pipe cleaners around the tree branch. So I put one on one side, one on the other side, one on the other side, and you can see here. Sometimes it's easier just to watch and not explain it. Okay, so it's really hard to keep it screen because it's so big. And so now I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's really wonky. It's wired, but it was just kind of, I don't know, wonky just to make into a bow. But I just flipped it around itself, so there's 2 bows in the middle or on both ends. And then this one is a lot nicer, and this is the Happy Easter one from the Dollar Tree as well. I made this one about 1 inch shorter, and I took the plaid again, and I made I'd cut off one big strip, folded it in half, and this is going to be the tails. So I put the smaller Happy Easter ribbon on top of the plaid, not plaid, I guess, pastel plaid, I don't know. And then I put the tails on the back, and then I believe I took a zip tie, and then I tightened it really well. So I take the zip tie and I pull it, not super tight enough to hold it, and then I make sure that it's all in the middle, and then I pull it really tight and clipped off the end there. Now I'm going to dovetail both ends. And then I'm going to fluff out the bow here a little bit. Nope, before I do that, I made this little piece. I cut a little piece, probably about 2 inches, maybe 3 inches, and I folded that in a third. So I'm going to hide the what do you call it? So I'm going to hide the tie. And now I'm going to fluff out my bow. And then I took a zip tie and I poked it through the back of the bow there. And then after I got that through, then I zip tied it onto the top of my wreath or swag. Scrunched up the tails. On that little teeny bunny, it's kind of out of screen. I apologize. I glued it up on top there. And that's the only thing that I pretty much glued. And I think this turned out so beautiful. And this was so quick and so inexpensive. I mean, like $3, $4, $5, $50 with the deco mesh, maybe $7 at the very most. And so I'm just showing you can do this. And this is just a fun little Easter swag. And you can do this for any occasion. Okay, number 3, last but not least, and this is my double-sided piece. Side A and side B. So I had something else in mind when I started this. Side A, I was going to paint it all in truffle. Then I was going to paint the flowers in ivory, and I was going to crackle the whole thing. So first I put my truffle down, and I painted over everything. And I have this, now it's dry, and I have this crackle Mod Podge from Mod Podge and or Plaid or whatever. I've never used this before. I'm out of my folk art, so I decided to pick this up, and next time I'm going to try the glue trick. So that's dry now, and then now I put my ivory chalk paint on top of that, hoping it's going to crackle, and it didn't. So I thought maybe the flowers will crackle, and I painted them ballet slipper chalk paint pink. I thought this was going to be really cool, like a crackled egg with the crackled flowers on top of it. Didn't crackle. To make a long story short, I worked on this thing for an hour. I was getting really irritated and really mad. I do not know why this didn't crackle. I read the instructions. I've crackled tons of things, and this didn't. So like I said, I tried it all over again. It still didn't crackle, so I decided to go in another direction, and I got irritated. So I put that down for a minute, and I'll show you how I finished that off. The other side, I just put Mod Podge on it, let that dry, and I have these beautiful napkins, and they are just all Easter eggs on this napkin. I removed the ply, or the plies. I guess it's a 3-ply. There is a border around this, so I did take and tore the border off of it. Then I put my parchment paper down, and I just laid the napkin in there and ironed it out. Took my finger sander, just what I did previously to the bunny. And then now I have to piece the napkin together because one napkin wasn't big enough. So I just took my paintbrush that was wet, and I drew along the part of the napkin that overlapped. And then I tore it off. As you can see, I'm putting my finger down there, being very careful not to tear too much off. I'd rather have it overlapped a little bit than not at all. But it worked out really well, and then I just went ahead and did the heat press trick again. Sanded that all off, and you cannot even tell. So the idea is to tear, because if you have a straight line, you're going to see it. If you tear it and you distress it, you're not going to see it at all. So you can't tell. And of course, I'm going to distress it. But I'm distressing this one for a reason, and it is because I had to piece it together. But then I have a wet baby wipe, and I'm kind of smearing it in toward the egg to make it look more vintage. And now I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's just the burlap with the lace, and I cut a piece off. And I'm just going to hot glue it pretty much in the middle of the egg. And then now I have some different kind of ribbon. It's kind of like a beige. It's not a burlap, but it's beige, and it has little teeny white polka dots, and it's really cute. I don't remember where I got it from. Probably Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I just made a circle, glued it, took some jute, tied it in the middle, called it a day. Now I'm going to pop it right in the middle there, hot glue it, and then I'm going to do the other thing that I do a lot. I'm going to glue a button on it. So if you guys know me, and if you're familiar with my channel, lots of distressing, lots of buttons, but I like it that way. I just do. And I had this little, I don't know, circle of beads, and I don't even know where I got it from. And I thought it looked really good with both sides, but mostly with the other side with the napkin on it. I thought the colors were just really pretty. So I just tied it onto the top there for the hanger. And now I have some of this rickrack, and it's pink, and that's from the Dollar Tree. And I am just going to glue one on top and hot glue one on the bottom. So I just distressed that side instead of trying to get it to crackle, because like I said, I tried everything. It was very frustrating, and I don't know what I did wrong. And if you know, let me know. Yeah, I just distressed it with a truffle and then glued those pieces on, and that was it. And you know what? It turned out really well, because boy, when I was doing this, it was not pretty. And there's side A and side B. Okay, and here is the whole shebang and then some. The pieces that I made today, not the wreath because it's hanging on my door, but the other pieces that I made today. And if you haven't seen some of my videos, I've thrown a bunch of stuff in here that I've made this year for the spring and Easter time. And yeah. And so that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and hype. Hype is so important too, and all that good stuff. Also, take a peek at our host channels and the playlist for a ton of inspiration. And I will be back very soon. Until then, my friends, have a blessed week. Bye.